She always encouraged me to fight the good fight, to run the good race, and to stay in it.
She made sure that she stood up for what was right.
She was a trailblazer, a warrior, a friend.
She was a profoundly good human being who led with grace and truth and exuded optimism, hope, and courage.
She's done so much for everyone in the state.
She was somebody that you could reach out to and know that she just was a good person.
She was a believer in women helping women. People, human beings in general, each one teach one was part of her motto.
She was a teacher and a devout mentor to those around her.
No matter what was going on in politics, no matter what differences people had, she has always been the same person.
She was admired, respected, loved by everyone.
She was just so inspirational.
And when she walks into her room, she walks in with confidence. She walks in as a leader.
Her sense of style put us all to shame.
It was something about her smile that said everything. And her sense of fashion that kind of spoke for her when she wasn't even saying anything at all.
Lieutenant Governor was a friend and a mentor. I was fortunate to come into the legislature when she was Speaker of the House. She signed my oath of office, which sits in my office. So that gives me great joy to look at that oath of office. My hand was shaking because I couldn't believe I was actually being sworn in.
When we were elected to the assembly, she just welcomed us with open arms as the speaker at the time. And she became an automatic mentor, regardless of what the situation was, be it a tough vote, be it local issues as far as trying to secure funds, be it committee assignments. She was somebody you can always get to and was always accessible.
Birthed 3 times in the legislature, was sworn in 9 months pregnant. I waddled down to Trenton to go see her take the oath of office as Lieutenant Governor. And she was so supportive. She was so supportive. Brittnee, you can do this. You can grow your family. You can lead. You can do it all. And I have your back. Lieutenant Governor Oliver always had my back.
I remember when I was first elected as the Assemblywoman, and I entered the caucus room, and Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver, she was there. And she graced me with open arms. And she told me if I ever needed anything, that I can reach out to her.
During my time in the assembly, she became Speaker. And at that time, she was a mentor. And that's what I liked about her so much. And that's why I respected her so much. She was a mentor, always wanted to teach others and take care of those who needed to be educated on what to do in the assembly. But also, even in her email address, each one teach one, shows that she was a teacher and a devout mentor to those around her.
It was the day that I got sworn into the assembly, my very first day in the legislature, having gone from intern to staffer to member. I remember I was so choked up with emotion and she was swearing me in. And when I was done, she leaned over to me and said, "Just breathe."
When she found out that I was running, she was so proud of me. She was so proud of me. And she told me that if there's anything that I needed, she would be right there and she would have my back. And those words from such an icon, such as herself, it means the world to you.
And I didn't realize that she knew who I was in 2020 when I had the opportunity to walk the governor out for his State of the State. And I went up to her and introduced myself and held out my hand. And she said, "I know who you are." And I said, "Oh, you do?" She said, "Yes, you're from Cape May County." I said, "Oh my gracious." I was just shocked and surprised that she knew who I was, especially being a freshman assemblyman. And then to have a few minutes to share with her, and the smile and the exuberance that she greeted me with was unbelievable.
She was a very dynamic lady, and we worked together once I got in the assembly in 2008 and to the present time. She was a lovely lady, and we worked together on a lot of different bills and everything, but one of the most important bills to both of us when she came to Newark and signed the legislation for the Women's Veterans Day for June 12th.
She really touched me when she said she was proud of me when I became the senator of the 28th Legislative District. It was priceless. And her words of encouragement will always resonate through me in my personal and professional career.
I met her at the age of 19. I met her actually through my husband. I was not in politics at all. I was just married, having children. And I remember when I met her, she encouraged me when it came to my family and it came to my children, and just always pushed me, knowing that I was a young mother trying to figure life out. And she always showed me support and love and compassion.
As a state legislator, a kind thing that she did that stays with me, when I was informed that I had the most bills signed into law in both the Assembly and the Senate by Governor Chris Christie, she sent me a handwritten note and said, "You're not only a show horse, but you're a workhorse." She recognized the work that I was doing for transformational change, for civil rights, social justice, all things that she was also passionate about.
Every time we were on Zoom calls or I would see her out, it was the same smile that she would greet me with every time. And it's a definite loss, but the fact that the foundation that she laid forward for Black legislators is unbelievable. And I look forward to try to build upon what she has been able to create herself.
I think about the time we were together at Dress for Success and the message that she gave that day to inspire women no matter what your obstacles you were going through in life, to always find the win in situations, to continue to strive with compassion, determination, and resilience. And when I tell you that room was electrifying and she was on fire, that's how she comes. Her presence it's everything that she does.
She always had the back of the community. She had the back of women. She had the back of minorities. She had the back of working people. She was an affordable housing champion. Her and I had parallel lives in many ways. As I got my start as an affordable housing nonprofit executive, she got her start working in the same vein for affordable housing.
Her impact is historical. You know, from her titles before, from school board to then other elected positions, to rising to the ranks of speaker, to becoming the first African-American speaker and lieutenant governor. And as a woman, I think she's opened up doors beyond, the dreams of many of our women and minorities and people that, regardless of where you come from, be it, the South Ward of Newark or, East Orange, that, these things are attainable.
She even gave me a nickname, and it was her millennial. Something that I keep close, near, and dear to me, understanding that I stand on many shoulders. And the shoulders that I stand on are people like her that have fought and paved the way for someone like myself to even be in the position that I'm in today.
Sheila and I were running mates for 14 years. And I think one of my fondest memories is the day she signed my bill, the equal pay law, into law as acting governor. Sheila's commitment to this cause was evident in her words that day. Sheila fought for our children, our communities, and our future.
Even though Lieutenant Oliver and the Assembly were involved in tough negotiations with the Christie administration, she took the time to work with then Assemblyman Gilbert Whit Wilson to arrange for the band to not only come up and tour the Capitol, but she also arranged for them to perform in the Assembly chambers. The band didn't get a chance to perform that day because the negotiations were ongoing and the Assembly was in caucus. Even though she was in the middle of negotiating a multi-billion-dollar budget, she took time out to come and meet with these children.
She did some unpopular things as Speaker. She was always being squeezed by the different pressures in the Assembly, as the speakers are, from the Senate President, from the governor's office, from lobbyists, from her colleagues in the Assembly. we're all looking for something to get the job done, but she was always able to negotiate and field her way through that and find a proper solution that was the best for everyone in the state of New Jersey.
Working with her was always a pleasure because she was a straight shooter. And that's what you need when you're trying to overcome challenges and find solutions. She was New Jersey's sojourner truth. She showed strength in the face of adversity, spoke up for the voiceless, and was a fierce advocate for equality and justice, and had the moral courage to always do the right thing.
No matter how chaotic situations were, no matter how much we were dealing with, she always said, just breathe. And for those of us who are going to miss her in her physical form, but her memory will be with us forever, the one lesson I will always take from her is that in moments when it looks all is lost, in moments when everybody's going crazy, to just breathe.
I will never look at the assembly dais again without thinking about our Madam Speaker and her contributions to the state. Sheila was extraordinary, and my life was enriched for having known her. One of my fondest memories was attending her launch for her run for the U.S. Senate in the 2013 special election. Already having made history as the first African-American woman speaker, she was determined to break glass ceilings for every young woman and girl who aspired to accomplish great things. I thought her decision was extraordinary, and I was honored to support her. We shared many views and values, but nothing more than our passion for equity in public education as former Board of Education members. I will miss her.
She was a great leader and gifted speaker who inspired all, whether in or out of government, to give aid and comfort to the dispossessed and to fight for many others seeking fairness and justice so that they too can enjoy the many blessings of our great state. The present sorrow will of course fade as it must, and it will be replaced by a sense of joy and honor at the privilege of having been led and inspired by her and the gift of having known her. For surely she knew all of us. Farewell, good and faithful soldier.
And her legacy will continue to inspire us to serve with dedication and to serve with courage. May she rest in power, my friend.
Sleep well, my queen, and thank you for your great leadership. You left us with more than a legacy of ultimately being the first African-American woman lieutenant governor. You left us a template to greatness and hope for our future.
Sheila, I love you. I'll miss you. Thank you for touching my life. I know I've been made immeasurably better because you touched my life. God bless your memory, and may your memory be a blessing to us all.
And the baton that you held, all of us now have to hold it, not just one of us, because that is the giant that you were. I love you. I will continue to pray for your family and know that your legacy will continue to live on.
She was just more than the Sheila Oliver, Lieutenant Sheila Oliver. She was my friend, and I will truly miss her.
Thank you for being that representation. Thank you for being that example. Thank you for being that light. When she walked in a room, we walked in that room. And for showing us that we can be.
May God continue to bless our family, and hopefully we can just continue on what she's led us to do as a Legislative Black Caucus.